Welcome to Fishing Dorset Live.
Welcome back to my channel. Today's Friday, currently I think it's about 1 o'clock-ish. We've come down away from pool this time. We've come down to Avon Beach. I've not fished here in over a year. I've come down with Scott today. Conditions, I'll show you in a minute. We're after anything. We're after ray, bass, whatever. Obviously you can target bass, but you've got to stick them back. What we're going to do, I've just got a single pulley rig on at the moment with a 3/0 hook and ragworm on there. I've just got a peeler crab to fill in at the moment. We've only just got here set up. Sun's out, it's quite warm, but it's a bit gusty, but the tide at the moment is going out. We plan to fish it back. City state, it's rough. I just can't believe, I've never actually seen it like this down here. So I'll give you a quick look in a minute, show my baits, show my rigs, and then we'll get into it. But let's give you a look. Look at that. Look at all the surf. It is absolutely ripping. I've never ever seen it like this. And at the moment, I've only got me one rod out at the moment. But if this is not good bass conditions, I don't know what is. But I'm after ray. That's what I've come down for. I'm after ray, place, sole, and basically anything else really. Right, I'll get myself sorted out. Let's get into a bit of fishing. Right, baits I've grabbed today. I've got 4 packs of frozen peeler. Brand new bag of squid. That's obviously all the peeler crab in there. 1 part used bag of squid. Brand new sand eel. Part used sand eel. Brought a couple of mackerel along as well, which kayak dangler Paul gave me as well, so big shit out Paul. So that's the baits today, that wise. Right, worm wise today. Worm wise, well, I didn't get that much rag today. This is the first time I've never done it because there's such a shortage. I'm not going to pay people's prices, so I basically got £6 worth of rag there, and I got £1 of beautiful lug, absolutely beautiful lug as well, once I can get in there. But yeah, £1 of lug there, absolutely beautiful lug. Look at those bad boys. So at the moment I've only got that, like I said, I've only got that 1 rod out at the moment. I've put a peeler crab on there, down to a 3/0, and a 6-ounce gripper on there. But I've got the fooser out today. It's only, I've put the carbon tip on there, obviously because of the conditions of the tide. Scott's up there as well. But yeah, it's not too bad of a start. Hopefully this will settle down a little bit for later. Obviously wind's coming from right to left as well, so obviously you got Mudderford all the way down there as well. Right, so far I've got 2 big baits out at the moment. I've got a whole squid and a whole peeler crab. I'm just going to change up now to a 3 hook flapper from Aaron's Rigs, to 1/0 hooks, down to a sea weight grip lead. I think that's probably about 6 ounce I guess. What I'm going to do, I'm going to load it up with lugworm. But no bites yet, but that tide is absolutely hammered out, literally hammered out. So what I'll probably do, I'm just going to feed a few beautiful ragworm on there. Lugworm. But what I do is I normally feed them on, and I snip the tail off because the tail's only full of sand. What I'll do is I'll just quickly tilt the camera so you can have a proper little look, hopefully. But what I'll probably do is the top 2 I'll put lug, and the bottom one So there's 2 lug on there. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably do the same again. Just try to keep an eye on my rods. Keep an eye on the middle one. But these lug are absolutely beautiful. Nice and juicy. So what I'll do is the same again. I'll just feed one up. And I'll feed one on, just like that. Then what I'll do on the very last one, I'll put a nice little ragworm, just to vary the bait a little bit. There we go again, nice juicy little bait. And then what I'll do on the very last one, I'll put a nice juicy rag. Obviously ain't got the tail on, but it'll still wriggle in the water. So there we go. That's a 3-hook flapper ready to go out. Hopefully we can catch some of it. But that tide is absolutely ripped out. Put my shelter up, just get out of the wind now. It's really comfortable now. So 4 o'clock is low water. And then obviously we're here to fish that tide back up. And I finish work early on a Friday. And I can't wait to get out. And I always get down early. So, right, let's get this one out. Hopefully, me or Scott can get some fish. Oh, Summit's here, Summit's on. It's quite deceiving really, because you get a lot of weight when you drag it over the sandbar. I'm not actually sure. We might have something on. Hopefully something's on there. This is on the lug. On the lug. And rag, 3-hook flapper. But obviously we're still quite shallow, so we are dragging the sandbar. The serpent's absolutely huge. Yeah, we're into a fish, first fish, happy days. We're into a bass, guys. Beautiful bass. Look at that. Absolute cracking. Beautiful little basil there, guys. Right, let's get them hooked. It's only literally in the lip there. Right, I'm gonna get them hooked and I'll give you a look, guys, as soon as I've sorted myself out. Happy days. There we go, beautiful little bass. Absolutely cracking little bass. Only in the lip. That was on the lugworm. So I'm gonna get this one straight back. First fish of the night. Happy days. Right, let's go and get it back, guys. I won't film putting them back. I'm just gonna go and put them back, get it baited up. We'll get straight out there. I think we might have a nice little bass on here. Another little bass, I think. Just getting into the darkness now. I think we just lost it. I think we just lost that one. Yeah, lost it. Took me straight into the sandbar. Just lost that one, what a gutter. Right, let's get it baited up. Let's get straight back out there, guys. There we go. They're getting bigger. Absolute cracking bass on the lug again, on the lug web, on the 3-hook flapper. Seems to be working a treat tonight. Obviously, I'll see if I can get a bit of light on there. See if we can show you this bass a little bit better than what. Right, there we go, guys. She's an absolute beast. Let's get him back. Right, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Friday night, obviously the start of this video was from Friday night. We had a cracking session, me and Scott, on the bass. It was rough. The surf was absolutely huge. I gave up filming because I was live streaming. So if you look up here, I'll put the link to the live stream. It is an absolute banger of a watch for bass. Me and Scott done really well. Obviously I was a bit gutted I couldn't film, but it was just too manic. So what I've done today is I've come down for a bit of lure fishing. It's really early, it's 6:30, and it is currently -2. The tide's just starting to run as well, which is good. So let me just turn my radio down so I don't get copyrighted. So I've come down with multiple lures, which I'll show you in a minute. I've got my brand new lure rod and reel, which my wife bought me for Christmas. This is the first time out, I'm going to try it. I've put my Avon mic, I think it is, on this morning, just for safety, so I don't drop the proper digital setup. I'll give you a look round in a minute. I'll give you a look at my lures, which I've purchased. Hopefully we can get into a few bass for my proper first session on the lures. So I'm going to give it a good go like always. I'm just down here for a couple of hours just to fish that tide on the way in. Hopefully it's all good. Let's see if we can get into some bass this morning. Right, what I didn't realise this morning is I've been recording and the battery was flat. So I'll have to go back over this again now. Right, basically this morning I'm out lure fishing. I've got my Penn Spin Fisher 4500 V1. I think it's £20 braid with a fluorocarbon leader. Right, my rod is a HGO orbital. My wife bought me this for Christmas. And this is the first time out, but basically I've got a black minnow on there this morning. I'll just give you a quick look at some of my other lures I'm using this morning as well. So I've got mixed lures, bass exciters, black minnows. It's a beautiful morning, but it's -2. It is not warm by any chance. So basically I've come down locally. I'll give you a quick look where I am. It's a bit like deja vu. I've already recorded this, but I've had to do it again. So it's my own fault for not checking my batteries. But basically I've come down, I'm fishing an incoming tide under Black Bridge. I'll show you where we are. But what it does is a big expanse of water comes into a very narrow gap. The tidal rip is big. Do not ever come swimming down here at all. A couple of years ago, a couple of young children died down here, which isn't good. So I'll give you a quick look where we are. So just advisory, if you come down here fishing or with your kids swimming, do not. So basically you've got the whole expanse of water out there coming down through here, and you can obviously see the tidal current. And what it does, it goes into a very narrow gap under Black Bridge. But this is a beautiful spot. I'm gonna get into some fishing. Let's see what we can get out while I'm learning to lure fish from scratch. Right, so basically what I've been doing, just trying to get a few pointers, is YouTube. It's a really good place for advice, for tips. And that's what I've been doing. I've just been swatting up, watching quite a few channels, lure fishing. So what I basically do is cast it out. I'll just give it a few minutes to sink. And then what I'm going to do is vary my retrieve. So a gentle pull back. I could be doing this totally wrong, but this is just a massive learning curve for me. So all I'm doing is a few little reels, a few little pullbacks, and then what I'll do on the next one is I'll just retrieve it by the reel. But it's cold. It's really cold this morning. Van was iced up. But it's nice getting out this time in the morning. There's no one about. This is absolutely glorious. Peace and quiet, no one about. Absolutely perfect. Right, this one, what I would do, I'll let it sink. And I'll just retrieve it just on the reel. All I do is just gently reel it in. No pulling on the rod. So basically it's just vary everything I'm doing. So basically I'll just give it a retrieve without flicking the rod. See what happens. But the weather's not looking good. It's not raining and I'm not far away from my van, so if it rains, it's just put the gear back into my van. So all I'm doing is just varying the retrieve on the reel. There we are, we're back in. Right, let's get him back out into that tidal current. But the rod, it casts absolutely lovely. Obviously I am sponsored by Black Rock, but I haven't got a spinning rod. Obviously I am going to show what my wife bought me for Christmas. It wasn't cheap, but you get what you pay for, and it was my Christmas present, so I will show it on my channel. But obviously don't forget, check that live stream out from Friday night. It was an absolute blinder for bass, and like I was saying, that surf was absolutely manic. Probably one of the best fishing sessions I've had in my life. Some of the bass were small, and obviously we had a couple of big whoppers, and it'd be nice to actually get one out this morning. Little bit of weed on there, but what I'll do is I'll keep going, and what I'll do is I'll just change the lure over and just try different lures and see what's happening. So I'm going to give this one more go out and I'll swap over, and I'll show you. I'll put on a bass exciter and then we'll try that. Hopefully that'll work. But what I've done now is I put my radio mic receiver on a power supply, so that'll teach me a lesson. I normally charge everything up way before I go fishing, and I didn't check last night, so it's my own fault. So a load of footage is gone from this morning. Right, let's get this one in. I mean, this isn't the biggest of tide, we're just coming off a neeps, but it's still a nice tide I pulled down through there. Right, I'm going to get this lure off, I'm going to change it up, we'll go for something else. Right, what I'm changing up to now is a weedless bass exciter. Grammage wise, I couldn't tell you. Packets are at home, so like I say, I don't know a lot about this. Let's get this one out, we'll give this one a quick go, and then we'll change it up. All I'm going to probably do is 6-7 casts. Just change the lures up, that's all I'm going to do, is just change my lures up. Just see what will work, what's not working. I'm not expecting to catch for my first time out, but it's all in the trying, it's all in the experience of learning. But you never know, something might hit. It'd be nice if it did. But the action of the lures is absolutely brilliant. Nice bit of action, especially when you see it coming. What I've done is I've literally lobbed it right into the middle of the tidal pool. Just let it sink for a few seconds. And obviously the same process again. But if you've got any hints, tips, tricks, put it in the comments, guys. I listen to people. Any advice is good advice. That's what's so good about YouTube. There's a lot of tips and tricks on there. I got my heated waistcoat on this morning. My back's lovely and warm, but my hands are absolutely freezing. Right, let's give this one more cast, and then what we'll do, we'll change this lure out. But if you are watching, don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe, guys. I would appreciate it. It does help the channel massively. And it is totally free. There's absolutely no charge. And like I said before, subscribing means pay, and it doesn't. It's a wrong word to use, really. I don't know what other word they could use. But subscribe normally means pay. But there's absolutely no charge for subscribing and hitting that like. Obviously I do live stream most Friday nights. Me and my son have got a boat, so there's boat content on my channel as well. Right, so far absolutely zilch. So what I'm going to do, I'll have a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to change this lure over to something different. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we can put a bass out of there this morning. It'd be really nice, but it is cold. I forgot my gloves as well. Right, tea break, and then we're going to get back into it. Just had a quick 5-minute break. Right, what I've swapped up to now, obviously, I can't remember who these lures come from, but it's quite a well-known company. But I'm now changing it up to quite a heavy metal lure, single hook on the back, replicating like a mackerel, small mackerel. So let's get this one out. We'll give this one a blast. But you get a lot more distance with these metal lures, a lot more distance. Just currently coming up to about 8 o'clock. I think high water, I think it's like 9:30. There's a bit of weed coming through now. I might have a little bit of weed on my line actually. There's a little bit of weight there. It's not a fish, definitely not a fish. Yeah, I think we got a bit of weed on. But absolutely loving this combination of rod and reel. Oh, I think that weed's just flipped off. Yeah, lost that bit of weed. What I'll do is I'll just quickly move the camera around so you can just get a little bit of a different angle from the side. Like I said, I've not seen anybody this morning, not absolutely no one. It's just nice, peaceful, beautiful morning out by myself. Let's get back out there. But absolutely no effort. I'm getting distance. There's a little bit of branch or something floating there. But all I've been doing is just varying my retrieves, the way I'm doing it. And hopefully, if the old bass are there, I might actually pull one out this morning. But obviously Poole is well known for its bass marks. This is just a nice 20-minute drive-ish from my house. It's a nice location. There's a cafe actually in this car park. It's not open yet. I didn't make a flask this morning. I should have really. But my wife done me a nice little packed lunch this morning, which is nice. Hopefully you're getting me in the shot. Just twist the camera around a little bit more. And the good thing about lure fishing is you're not carrying loads of gear. It's just a rod, your reel. You can put your stuff in a rucksack. That's what's nice about it as well. You're not carrying tons of gear. So if you live near an estuary, or if you live around Poole, Devon, anywhere like that, you can move about. I mean, I could have this morning, I could fish here. I could go down to like sandbanks, I could fish there. But like I say, one of my popular fishing is the red gills from the entrance of Poole. I know how to do that. I'm quite successful catching bass that way. A little bit of weedage there. But this is just a total new experience with these lures. Getting that's going way out. So I'm getting well beyond that channel and I'm just dragging it across that channel. Like I say, I am letting it sink right down. But I don't want to go too mad because I don't want to come around the side of the jetty. Oh, there's actually live. Someone's actually just come in the car park. But it's quite enjoyable. It's really peaceful. No baiting up, just swapping lures over. Absolutely cracking. I keep changing up the retrieve. But the action of this metal lure is absolutely cracking. Right, what I'm doing now is I've just had to move the van. That tide's like basically flooding the car park. It's quite a big tide. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with a Pachenko now. Hopefully you can see it. With the rattles in there. So all I'm doing this morning is basically just trying different lures. I can't do no more. That cast's absolutely lovely too. But this is a very big tide this morning. Obviously I could have come down, I think it was like 4:30, low water. But it was quite warm at home and I didn't want to leave the house, so I headed out about 6 o'clock. But I've never used these lures before. And what I will do at the very end. Oh, I just got my line wrapped around me rod then. But it's a beautiful action, absolutely beautiful action for a lure. Just a shame I couldn't really capture it on camera because I'm on my own today. Just got the braid caught up one of the hooks. But they really are nice looking lures. I mean, it's ain't a cheap hobby, but as long as you don't keep losing lures, it's not too bad. You're not buying bait each time you go out. It's just literally grab your lure box and off your trundle. Obviously there will be a lot more talking in these videos because you're lure fishing. And it's quite hard really when you're learning to lure fish. It's not the easiest thing to concentrate on. But that lure does go out really well. Absolutely flies out. But yeah, that tide I'll show you in a minute. That tide is literally coming up 3/4 of the car park. I just had to move my van round. But the Pachenkos are a really nice looking lure. There's obviously different style, different colours. I do find a lot of people do lure fish at night. Obviously one of my subscribers and friend, Paul Merritt, he comes down to Poole when I'm normally fishing for flounders. He has quite a lot of success nighttime fishing for the bass. And obviously that's what Paul loves doing. But yeah, that tide's literally starting to pull my lure right down. And I don't want to lose like a 25 to 30 pound lure on these pontoons at the side of me. But what I might go back to in a minute is I might go back to the black minnow. Absolute beautiful action on these lures when you watch them on the water. It's a real shame I couldn't get the camera down there. Right, I'm going to change this lure up. I think I might go back to a black minnow, give that a bash, but cool, isn't it? Chilly on the old hands. Right, I'm going to conclude my session today. This is the car park. This is where my van was this morning. Look at that. It's a really high tide. What I'm going to quickly do, I'll quickly run through my setup once more, because obviously I had to delete this morning's edit because I didn't have the microphone charge. But there we go. It's a HGO orbital, 20 to 30 gram, to a lovely Penn Spinfisher V1 4500. Braid wise, I think it's £20 braid, and I've got it to fluorocarbon, which I was advised to do as obviously it's hard to see it, as a bit of a shock leader. All I've carried to date is literally one rag, pair of forceps, one set of lure selection there, my lure selection there, got a good old faithful Dexter wedge there. Paul Merritt had that made for me, and it's lovely. And obviously the old Pachenkos. But I'm going to call it a day this morning. I've been out for a couple of hours. I've loved it. It's been nice and peaceful. But I'm going to call it a day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously I've not caught, but it's all good. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. See you soon.